So the two most important considerations when investing for me are definitely number one, diversification, and number two, time. What I mean by that is, firstly, you want to make sure that you're getting exposure to a really diversified portfolio and that your money isn't biased towards any particular areas or investment assets. That's why I think funds represent probably the best option for a lot of everyday investors, because they allow you to get exposure to really well diversified portfolios at very low entry levels. The second is time. It's important to give your investments time to work. Generally, financial markets will go upwards over long periods of time, but they can be quite volatile over short periods. And that's why we typically recommend that people have a time frame of usually more than 4 years in mind when they're looking at venturing into investing, as it'll just allow you to ride out any short-term volatility in markets and then start to benefit from compound interest over longer periods of time. So the best options for children's education funds is going to come down to what age your child is and when you expect to need that money. If your kids are a bit older and you foresee you needing access to that money in the next, let's say, 3 to 4 years, then unfortunately the best place is to keep the money on deposit in a bank, credit union or post office account. While it's not going to earn any interest and inflation is going to erode the value of it, given that it's over a short period of time, it's not as, I suppose, it's not as devastating to that pot of money. Now, if it's over a much longer period and your kids are quite young and you don't foresee you needing that money in the next 5 years or longer, it's important to invest those savings contributions to make sure that they're earning a decent interest rate, keeping pace with inflation and growing at least hopefully at the same rate as education costs will increase. In that case, I would encourage people to check out our Alpha Savings and Investment Club, which allows you to save on a regular monthly basis from as little as €100 per month. You can also put lump sums in there. It's very flexible in that you can increase, decrease, stop and restart your savings, and the term is completely open-ended, so you can access your money at any stage. This plan will just help your money get working a little bit harder for you and get your savings for education growing at a much faster rate than they would in the bank, credit union or post office. Well, you can give your grandchildren any amount you want, but what you need to consider is the tax treatment of those gifts or any money that they do inherit. So currently in Ireland, grandchildren can be gifted or inherit up to $32,500 tax-free over their lifetime. And there is another very powerful, I suppose, exemption that people have at their disposal, which is the small gift exemption, which basically allows anybody to give anyone else up to €3,000 tax-free each year. So potentially, if I suppose you want to pass on wealth to your grandkids as tax efficiently as possible, what I would suggest is that you pay €3,000 per person per grandchild, and I suppose gradually phase that money into an account in their name over a period of years, and therefore it doesn't eat into their $32,500 capital acquisitions tax threshold that they will also retain.